A column I wrote about Elliot Rodger's YouTube video has already drawn a lot of social media attention. In the piece, I wrote, as important as it is to understand Rodger's actions within the context of the mental illness he clearly suffered, it's just as clear that his delusions were inflated, if not created, by the entertainment industry he grew up in. The whole reason I weighed in on this issue was that he had created this video on YouTube that seemed to be such a product of the entertainment industry that he did grow up in, literally, and also just as a member of the culture. And it seemed that his self-pitying complaints, a lot of them had to do with the sense of entitlement that he had to a life that he had seen reflected around him. And I wanted to sort of tease out how the movies that we watch that are primarily created by men, and primarily pivot around male fantasies of wish fulfillment and vigilante justice, how that might inform not just someone suffering under a really terrible mental illness, but the culture at large in terms of conditioning our own expectations of what we think life is and what we feel like we deserve from it. I also wrote, how many students watch outsized frat boy fantasies like Neighbors and feel, as Rodger did, unjustly shut out of college life that should be full of, quote, sex and fun and pleasure. In singling out Neighbors and Judd Apatow, I by no means meant to cast blame on those movies or Judd Apatow's work for this heinous action, obviously not. But I do think, again, it bears all of us asking what the costs are of having such a narrow range of stories that we constantly go back to. There has been quite a response on social media, and I certainly understand why Seth Rogen and Judd Apatow might feel defensive because I did single them out. Again, the reason why I weighed in on this at all was because of this YouTube video and the kind of extraordinary Hollywood-like production values and context out of which it seemed to spring. And as a film critic, what I wanted to do was think about what echoes we heard from the larger culture and maybe pose some questions that might be useful, at least judging from my inbox today. You know, a lot of people do think that those are questions worth asking.